like I'm forgetting something terribly important. I guess we'll find out. We'll see about that. Let's see here. Are we live? That's the question on everyone's mind. Oh, by Jove. I think we are. Boom! And we're live, I think. Oh, you're right. Shoot. I forgot to do it. That's too bad, even after you said it. Shout out to Jeff Crumpley. He's got to walk his sweet buns out of here in minutes. Hey, wait a second. Me too. That's crazy. Yeah, I got to be walking out the door in an hour and 20 minutes, Griffin. You think we can do it? Yeah.
This week I have no doubt we can get this and done in an hour.
With Lewis not here, messing everything up, constantly interrupting and interjecting and putting his opinions in and trying to steal my picks for future keynotes, it's going to be easy. We got Caveman here. We got J. Cruz here who wants a yeah. Lewis is not even here to complain about it. Let's see here.
Another one, you'll have to pay for it.
Oh, man. We got Hugo last, dropping the big bucks here for El Caney. We got Jose. I'm not going to try and say that last name, Jose, because if I mispronounce that, it's going to get me in big trouble. Jose says, podcast listener, first time listening live. Well, welcome, Jose. Glad to have you here. Hopefully, after seeing the live production, you'll consider coming back, but I'm dubious about that after you've seen one. Okay.
Audio listeners aren't missing much. I'll just say that.
Oh, come on. That's not true. I think the visual component of this show is the best that there is in the tech podcast world. Is there a tech podcast that does it better than this? I don't think so. I really don't. They're all using, first of all, they don't have this level of eyebrow movement. No one's got it. Maybe if Jack Black, oh, that's pretty good. Wow, that's pretty good. See? There's no way they're going to see that in the audio. And the level of production, not great. No one's switching.
For streaming live, I'll agree with you. Yeah.
I think this is the best that there is. Now, the content itself, okay, that's debatable. Yeah, Lewis isn't here, unfortunately. We'll talk about that on the show. R.I.P. Lewis. We missed you. He had a good run, though. I think we're ready to go live. Go ahead and queue up Mrs. You-Know-Who, and we'll get this thing rolling. Shout out to Dipsy Doo for joining us live. We got a whole lot of stuff to talk about today. My goodness. And I would actually say adequate time to talk about it. Normally, I feel like we might not make it. I think we're going to make it this time. We might actually get through all these stories, but we'll see. No promises. All right. Let me queue up Mrs. You-Know-Who. Oh, Mrs. D. Where's my darling little Lewis? Oh, he's not here, Mrs. D. Oh, that's a shame. He probably wanted to know that I'll be making love to El Caney this weekend. Oh, that's great. I should have set up Griff Cam for that, because his reaction was even worse than Lewis's normally is. But Mrs. D, we don't want to hear about any of that. In fact, I feel slightly nauseous, which tells me it's time to start the show. So if you don't mind, I will get the music rolling. Let's see. Am I on the right screen? I have no idea what's going on. I think I am. So we're going to go ahead and get it rolling in 3, 2. Hello, and welcome to the CultCast, the best 30-minute Apple conversation you're going to hear all week long. I'm your host. Well, that's the wrong button. Aaron Elijah joined me today with Lewis Wallace out of town. He might be going to his town. So out of abundance of precaution, he'll be sleeping in his ghillie suit this weekend in a field near his home in rural Ohio. He's a writer for Cultimac. Griffin Jones is here.
The secure bunker where my office is located is on extra high alert this weekend.
As you should be, because I don't even know where Lewis is. Do you?
No, for all I know, he could be on a flight to Columbus as we speak.
He is on his way there. He has his bandana on. It's like that scene from Rambo, man. He's on his way to come discuss.
If not for the steel bars outside this window, he could just burst through at any moment.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. He's pretty strong. He's pretty stout. He might be able to just rip those bars right out the window and come climbing through like Jack Nicklaus in The Shining. But I actually don't know where Lewis is, for real. Like, do you actually know where he went? I don't know.
I have genuinely no idea.
Okay.
No.
I love that neither of us even bothered to ask him. I actually feel bad about that. Lewis, well, I hope you're doing well, Lewis. Wherever you are, I hope that you're having a great time. He's probably on vacation. He might even be in Italy. But Lewis will be back next week, and then the Grifster is going to be out next week. Now, where are you going? Do you want to say?
I will be going to England,
No
the
way.
motherland, the Queen's land,
How long are
old
you going to
London
be?
town.
How long are you going to be there for?
Just I think until Tuesday or so. Thursday to Tuesday.
You're going to go for less than a week to England?
Well, I mean, I'm going to England on Leander Canny's budget that he that
No
he paid me
way.
for.
LK is
So-
sending you to jolly old England? Is he going with you?
No, I'm not saying he's paying me to go there. I'm just saying,
No.
like, he does pay me every
Oh,
month.
I
You know,
see.
I'm not made of money.
Okay.
What do I look like?
Okay.
Right
I was
for
going
the
to say,
Verge?
Leander's sending you somewhere on his dime. I was like, he has truly turned a new leaf. I don't think that ever... Actually, yeah, I don't think he ever paid my way anywhere. He paid me to go places, like once I was there, but I don't think he actually ever bought like a plane ticket, although he did let me stay for free in his hotel rooms. So there was that.
Well, he paid for me to go to California when I was invited to WWDC 2 years ago,
Oh, wow. It's getting soft
which
in
was
his
very generous. Yeah.
old age. All right. Well, let's see here. We got all sorts of stories to talk about this week. Before we do that, I want to give a quick shout out to Hugo last in the chat with a $25 super chat, and there's nothing here. He didn't ask us to say anything. He didn't make any comment. He just wanted to give us 25 smackaroos. Thank you for that generous $25 super chat, Hugo last. Keeping the show going right into LK's pocket. Unfortunately, I really need to figure out how to change the routing on that cash so that I can grab part of it or maybe even all of it. I'll have to worry about that later. We're going to talk about an all-new HomePod just dropped today. Boy, oh boy, you guys are really going to like this one. If you're a fan of the HomePod, this one's going to be perhaps the one that you've been waiting for. We're going to talk about the new public betas that are now available. If you've been wanting to try some of the public betas, well, now's your chance to do so. I might hop on board. This might be it for me, but we'll see. Really important feature coming to the Photos app. If any of you have been around to hear me talk about my problems with iCloud photo storage or the Photos app, this is going to be a feature that you're really going to value. And if we have time, I'll maybe talk about my strategy to secure my photos, because if you think they're secure in iCloud photos, baby, I would not trust iCloud photos with the safety of your photos, not after what happened to me. And what continues to happen, I might add. And what you maybe didn't know could happen, because you just think that it's fail-safe. It's definitely not. Griffin is going to tell us about some more iPhone 16 Pro features that leaked. We're going to talk a little bit about Apple's insane new stock price, which has gone up hugely since April. And I'll tell you what my Apple stock is now worth. And then we're going to wrap up with a review of a product that I wish I had been sent, but they gave it to Griffin instead. And, well, I won't spoil it.
Because I begged and emailed
Okay.
them constantly over the course of a few weeks.
Okay, so you nagged them. So that's a strategy I didn't try. Congratulations. They actually sent something to you. So that would be cool. This is definitely a product I'm interested in hearing more about. Before we dive in, let me see here. See, I knew I was forgetting something. I didn't have my notes up. I want to say thank you to Bilt. This episode is brought to you by Bilt Rewards. Earn points by paying rent now when you go to joinbilt.com/cultcast. That's joinbilt.com/cultcast. I also want to thank Squarespace for supporting this episode. Did I put up browser mode? Oh, thank goodness. Whew, that was a close one. Squarespace is the place to go if you need a website, and it's where I host the cultcloth.co, for a variety of reasons. So here's one: Squarespace Blueprints, AI, and SEO tools. You can start a completely customized website with the new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint. Choose from professionally curated layouts and styling options to build a unique online presence from the ground up, tailored to your brand or business. all with ease and optimized for every device. Easily launch your website and get discovered fast with integrated optimized SEO tools so you show up more often to more people and grow the way you want. Plus, and this is an important one if you plan on selling products, flexible payments. Make checkout seamless for customers with simple but powerful payment tools. Accept credit cards, PayPal, and Apple Pay. And in eligible countries, offer customers the option to buy now and pay later. With Afterpay and ClearPay, you can sell products and services of all kinds, digital products. You can sell memberships, sell courses, sell files that customers can download like PDFs, music, and ebooks. You can create an outrageously high-quality product like Cult Cloth, sell it to the masses. It's the closest that you'll get to having your very own U.S. Mint. Trust me, I know. Let's see here. Squarespace.com/cultcast. Squarespace.com/cultcast to get started. Get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain with code CultCast at checkout. Squarespace.com/cultcast. Thank you to Squarespace for supporting us. They've been with us for like 7 years. So if you're thinking about getting a website, please use our link so that they know that you sent us. Wait, reverse that so that we know that you sent us. No, that still doesn't work. So that they know that we sent you
from our show.
All of those things. All right. Thank you to Squarespace. Let's dive right in to the first story. You want to know about the brand new HomePod. Well, trust me, you're going to be excited about this one. It's a big, big deal if you've been waiting for a new HomePod to come out. Is this the one with the screen? Well, maybe. It's got a screen on top, but it's the same screen that the HomePod Mini has always had because it's just a new HomePod Mini. And you haven't been a fan of the black. You don't like the white. You don't like the orange. You don't like the yellow. You wish there was something else. Well, guess what, my friends? Now there's a new color. It's a new midnight color. Am I right, boy? I'm looking at the picture. Are you trying to troll me here, Griffin? There's no discernible difference.
Those genuinely, I'm told by Ed, who wrote this article, those genuinely came from Apple's own promotional marketing images.
Wait a second.
From their press release.
So they have a new color, a new midnight color option, but it looks almost the exact same as the old option. Did they just change the name?
If you didn't like the color before, you can now buy midnight, which is like 1% darker. It is a very slightly different color.
I do actually see that it to me it actually looks 1% lighter. Like it's just slightly lighter, but that could just be like the lighting on the actual product. I feel like I'm being trolled here, but this is real. Mm-hmm. So there is a new, now hold on a second. If we go to Apple's website, do they say new when you go to HomePod?
Oh, that's a good question. They did put out this whole press release about it, but I don't know if they mark it as new on the website.
We got to check now.
My guess is that they probably don't. So here are some more details. Although it's still a dark color, it's also green because Apple is making it using 100% recycled mesh fabric. The HomePod Mini launched in 2020 in white and space gray, and in 2021 they added yellow, orange, and blue. And just earlier this week, they dropped space gray for the new midnight color. Now, here's the thing that makes this like twice as funny. Apple's whole thing is that now the HomePod is 100% recycled fabric if you order this one color. But I was listening to the Upgrade podcast this week, and Mike Hurley said that he actually checked the original HomePod press release for the HomePod Mini. And apparently before, it was already 90% recycled fabric.
Hey, you know what? That's 10%.
So not only is it only 1% darker, but it's also only 10% more recycled.
Yeah, well, when you sell, I was going to say millions, but that's probably way higher than they actually sell.
It's a HomePod we're talking about here.
Yeah, exactly. It's HomePod Mini. They probably sell like hundreds a month. So maybe from that perspective, it's not better. But you know what? Hey, incremental improvements. Improvement. They got it from 90% to 100% recycled material. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't say new. So apparently it's just a new color. Well, look, let's not linger here too long.
They could have done literally nothing, and I don't think anybody would have noticed.
Dude, I'm not even sure they did do anything. It looks exactly the same to me. It literally looks exactly the same. Like on our story, we have in our article on Cult Mac, we have the picture side by side. I wonder if this is an error. It's literally the same photo. So now I don't know what to believe. But anyway, if you're looking for a new HomePod Mini, now there's a new color. I wouldn't buy one full price anyway. Wait for them to go on sale. They're nice speakers. They're not worth $100 in my opinion. I think they're probably worth 80 max, which they go on sale to all the time. So there you go. Let's move on and forget we ever mentioned this HomePod update. What else do we have? Let's talk about the public betas. Now this actually might be interesting to people because we have new ones out, right?
Yes. So public betas of iOS 18, iPadOS 18, macOS Sequoia, and watchOS 11 are now out. If you're not familiar, installing public betas are actually much easier than they were before. You don't have to install a beta profile from the web. You can actually do it directly in settings. You just go to settings, general software update, and then after a moment, you'll see a new option on top that says beta updates.
Yep.
You can tap that and switch to the iOS 18 public beta directly from there. It literally takes 10 seconds. Weirdly, there's no public beta for Vision OS, only a developer beta, but there's no restriction on installing a developer beta. So you can just do that. And it's the same. I don't know why they're not making a release called public beta, but anyways, I'm running the Vision OS beta.
Oh.
And I've been running iOS for a few weeks now. It sounds like you're interested in getting on that train.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what's the stability like on iOS 18? Because I want to install it, but they're often so bad when they first launch. I'm not trying to have everything break on my phone.
I'm surprised that beta 3 is the public beta, because I was showing a friend who was over just a few nights ago, oh yeah, I'm running the pre-release version of iOS. So, I'll show you all the cool features. And then I tried to edit my home screen and it just completely didn't work.
Oh.
And then I was like, oh yeah, and
Right.
you can customize Control Center too. And I brought that down, tapped and held on it, and it also completely didn't work and broke. So
Okay.
yeah, maybe wait until beta 4.
Okay, so it's not there yet, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is surprising. We're on beta 3. You think they would have ironed out a lot of the kinks. But, what's always surprising to me is how there are kinks right up until the very last version. I mean, they really have those kinks and those bugs in a buggy state right up until they launch. It's crazy. And then right when the launch happens, lo and behold, everything just goes away. So I don't know if the developers are just taking their time to fix them or if these things are very hard to fix and so it takes them forever. What's that law that the amount of time you set for a task to be done will be how much time it ends up taking you? There's a law
Yeah,
for
there's
it.
something like that.
I can't
I think
remember the name of it.
another theory that I've read is that around mid-August is when they start to prepare for the iPhone launch. And so around mid-August, they have a feature freeze where they don't make any more changes because they have to flash millions of iPhones with the version of iOS before they go in boxes, before they get shipped all around the world for the early September launch date. And so the theory is so between mid-August and mid-September, all of the engineers are basically only doing bug fixes, and that's why the last few betas suddenly turn around.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
Gordon from
I
the
think,
chat. Sorry, go for it.
And there was also, the story that we've been talking about all through the year that Apple developed this special system where they can update phones in the box inside the Apple Store before they're actually unboxed, and they might use that to basically mean that iOS 18.1 is instead iOS 18.0, and it's available the same day that it is for everybody else. They get an extra round of bug fixes before the phones are actually out.
Gordon from the chat saying, I have been running all the current iPhone, all the current betas on my iPhone 15 Pro. Very stable for me. Way better than years ago. Okay, maybe I will try it. Caveman from the chat, is it really as simple as turning on the betas? Turning on the beta updates and settings now? Yes, it is. They have literally made it one click. It used to be a little bit more involved where you had to install a certificate, which I don't think you need to do anymore. Or maybe it happens as part of the process.
You don't even need a paid developer account to join the developer beta.
I know, that is so weird. So then really, what is the point of the public beta? I mean, I guess it's in a different state of...
I strongly encourage people to do the public beta instead of the developer beta.
Yeah.
They're released at the same rate, but the public beta is 1 day after the developer beta is out. So it's really the developer beta is released on Monday, the public beta is released on Tuesday, but you get the same number of updates. But if there's a catastrophic error in the developer beta, which there have been in very recent history, there were reports that an iOS 17 developer beta was breaking people's phones or something like that. The public beta is a little safer because they can pull them out if there's a catastrophic problem.
Okay, well, there you go. There might be other small differences. I'm sure there are differences. That's why they have two versions, as well they would just have the one. but I think I'm going to go for it. I'll throw caution to the wind. I'm going to install it. I mean, if they fix most of the big major stuff, how bad can it be? I mean, if some of the stuff's not working, although you said you're having problems with the Photos app, right?
Well, I'm not having bugs with the Photos app. I just don't like it.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
that's
I'll have once again linked to my article that I wrote over the weekend in the show notes. All the problems that they have in the Photos app. It's like I like their broad idea and where they're going with it, but I think there's a lot of design problems that I'd like them to fix.
yeah. Well, hopefully they will fix those things, and they don't think that they're just the new features of the app not needing to be fixed. Well, there is one feature coming to the Photos app, which I think is going to be really super useful. And it is the ability to identify and recover corrupted pictures and videos. Now, this is invisible for us now. If you have corrupted images in your Photos library, you likely have no idea unless you've tried to load the videos or the photos on your Apple TV or your phone or something, especially your Apple TV, like in 4K, which the videos don't load in 4K anyway. Don't get me started on that. But you'll notice that some of the images, like if you're using the images as screensavers, you'll notice some of them look really pixelated, and it's like, why does that picture look so bad? It's because it's loading like some super low resolution version, and the higher resolution versions have been corrupted, they're not available or something. And I think this happens all the time. And you really should be checking your deleted folders as well, just to make sure that iCloud isn't just randomly deleting photos. Like I checked a little while ago and I found like 3,000 images that had been placed in the deleted folder that I don't know how they got there. And I had to restore all of them. And if I'd never checked, I would have lost all those images. They just would have been gone forever. And I have no idea how it happens. No idea. I didn't delete them. And the other problem is you'll go to play a video from like 5 years ago. And I think we just lost Griffin, but I'm going to keep going until he comes back. I tried to play a video and it wouldn't play. It had been corrupted. And so, from the story, iOS 18's redesigned Photos app will gain a recovered album. I got you, Griffin. You're back. You froze. Actually, I noticed it because the background noise, like there's like this low-level hiss that I'm hearing, disappeared. And I was like, uh-oh, Griffin's gone. But welcome back. iOS 18's redesigned photo app will gain a recovered album to help you restore damaged photos or videos. It will only show up when the app detects corrupted media not in your photo library, so you can actually do something about it. The new recovered album will appear under the Utilities section of the Photos app. Do you have this on your Photos app, Griffin? Have you checked?
I haven't checked.
Okay. You may need to update first, but I'm looking forward to trying this out. While not common, you can lose photos or videos from your iPhone due to database corruption. It can also happen when using third-party apps that do not have access to the photo library. To prevent the loss of such content, Apple plans to introduce the recovered album. The app will scan your phone automatically for damaged photos and videos that can be recovered. Only then will the recovered album appear in the Utilities section of the Photos app. Apple says your iPhone will scan for corrupted media files when you upgrade to iOS 18. I'm sure that's going to take a while, especially if you have a huge library like I do. If the app finds corrupted media, you can either recover the damaged files from the recovered album or delete the files permanently. Oh, great. Sorry, we can't fix them. Go ahead and just delete them. You know, these 1,000 photos, we can't show them to you anymore. Would you like to just delete them? It's like, yeah, perfect. That's what I want to do. Just lose them forever. Does not appear to be any way to initiate a scan manually. Like the recently deleted album, you must confirm your identity using Face ID or Touch ID to get into the recovered folder. Let's see here. It looks like there is also a iOS 17.5 bug that has caused photo database corruption for some. So, look, you got to be careful. You got to be careful, my friends. This has happened to me before. It's probably happened to you, and you probably don't know it. And I have come up with a new strategy to make sure that my photos don't get corrupted. And I realize this is not going to be a strategy that everyone can use, but it's something that you can try if you have a NAS. And it's kind of complicated. I'll just run through it high level. But basically what I do is I have all of my photos being downloaded via iCloud, the iCloud photo app on my PC, where I have a ton of hard drive space. I have all the full-size files being pulled down. Griffin's trying to call me back. Let me add him back into this conversation. I have all the full-size photos being downloaded to my PC, and then I have a backup procedure that pulls those files onto my NAS so that I should always have a full-size picture stored off of Apple's servers. Let me see if I can add him back to this. Grifster, you there?
Yep.
There you go. Dude, what's going on with that Ohio internet? It's being even worse than normal.
It completely crashed. So I'm now going off my phone tethering.
Oh, really? Well, it sounds better. Okay. I was just regaling the people with my iCloud photo backup strategy, which involves a NAS, so I realize it's not going to work for everybody. But, dude, you really should be doing something. I would not trust Apple servers for your data
The thing is, iCloud itself isn't a backup. iCloud is like the source of where your photos are, but it's not a backup because if things go wrong there and you don't have it anywhere else, well, you've just lost photos. That's not a backup strategy. You need to have a copy, ideally locally on your Mac, and then preferably another copy on an external storage.
Yeah, on like a hard drive or a hard drive or something. By the way, your audio is getting a little bit garbly there, so we'll see if it sticks around. You should check to see, do you have any backup service or anything running? It seems like something might be going on, or it could just be that rural internet. Oh wait, but you disconnected from it. Now you're on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
I know everyone thinks is iCloud as backup. It's weird to think that it's not backup, but it's definitely not. And so it's something to pay attention to. And if you can back it up somewhere else, I definitely would. You would hate to lose all those those photos and videos. The other thing
you might think, oh well, it's on my phone. So if it's on my phone, then iCloud is backup. Well, not if the changes between your phone and iCloud sync to each other. So if things are deleted off iCloud, then they're deleted off your phone too.
That's true.
They're basically synonymous.
I also downloaded all of my photos and videos from iCloud a couple times. Whoops. For some reason, my camera angle got all screwed up when you disconnect it. I have no idea why. Is that working? Oh, good. I downloaded all the photos from iCloud, and when I got them, the format was very confusing. It gave my file names all sorts of strange names, which isn't a big deal, obviously. But it seemed to me like a lot of my photos and videos were missing. I couldn't really find all the different files, and also it gave me a bunch of Excel files full of metadata that I had absolutely no idea what to do with. I didn't know what to do with any of that metadata, and I don't think that the metadata that were attached to the files when they were uploaded were part of the files anymore. And I think they were part of the Excel files that it downloaded, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? I have no idea. What do you do with 100 Excel files? They're CSV files full of metadata. Who knows? I don't know.
The easiest thing to do on a Mac is you can just go to your home folder and then you click pictures, and then there should just be a file called photo library photos library or something like that. You can just hold down Alt and then just make a copy of that. And that's the easiest way to do it on a Mac, at least.
Okay.
You just make a copy of that photos library file itself.
Yeah, that's not a bad strategy, actually. If you're on a Mac, that's actually a great way to do it, and then just keep it on a hard drive. You just have to remember to keep doing it, and then overwriting the file every time you want to go make that transfer, and the transfer could be quite large. And then also, if you are not storing your full optimized size files on your Mac, I don't know if that actually gets you to where you want to be, because you are not going to have the full image files on your local machine.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, so something to try out once you get the new beta installed, to see if you have any corrupted videos or photos. And I bet you you do, and you don't know it. And hopefully it's nothing that you really value, because I lost stuff and you don't even know what it is. I mean, there were some videos and photos that were obvious. There was enough of them that I could tell what they were, but a lot of times they're just gone forever. Let's see here. Before we move on, we're talking about iPhone 16 Pro next and those new rumors, but I do want to thank Bilt for supporting this episode. is brought to you by Bilt Rewards. And let me just tell you, I paid rent for a long, long time. And I know a lot of you out there pay rent. Lots of people pay rent. And unfortunately, it's just something that you have to do in your life. I lost my browser. Hold on a second. I'll pull this up so that we can have Bilt on the screen. And I was always looking for a way to earn rewards on those big rent payments because you're spending so much money. But when I was paying rent, there was nothing. I mean, there was literally no way to do that. You just had to cut a check and that money was gone. But for all of you, now there's Bilt. Every month, pay your rent and watch the Bilt Rewards roll in. Use points to jet off on a dream vacation. Put your points toward a flight or hotel stay with 500 plus airlines and 700,000 plus hotels and properties. Use your points to sweat it out. Redeem your points to book fitness studio classes. You can also use your points toward a future rent payment or toward a future down payment on a home. Even if you're still rocking the old school rent check vibes, Bilt Rewards has got your back. They'll mail a check for you. It's like having a personal rent-paying assistant. Earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbilt.com/cultcast. That's joinbilt.com/cultcast. Make sure you use our URL so they know that we sent you. Joinbilt.com/cultcast to start earning points with your rent payments today. And thanks to Bilt for supporting this episode. Okay. Let's talk about iPhone 16, Griffin. We got some hot new rumors here. And while you do this, oh, your camera's back. Fantastic. Now they can see you talk about it too.
Yeah, so this was speculation over the last year. It was part wishful thinking a little bit, but now we finally have confirmation, or at least not really confirmation. We have another rumor suggesting that it's actually true. The upcoming iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max will seemingly use the same 5x tetraprism camera as the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Apple plans to use the larger sensor, but there is a little downside though. That won't come to any changes to the camera sensor this year. So Apple switched to a 5x telephoto sensor on the iPhone 15 Pro Max last year. The smaller iPhone 15